Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ki Jai. Next we are moving to Kanaka Bhavan, an amazing courtyard and temple, and it's so beautiful. We have to see this Kanaka Mahal. Yes. So you have two pictures here. We are talking about the right picture, right one, Kanaka Mahal. Look at the palace, you can see the courtyard in the front. At least 5,000 people can sit in that courtyard, so big, huge courtyard and the palace behind. It's Kanaka Mahal, golden palace. So if you go there inside, you can see beautiful Sitaram Lakshman temple. And actually, originally there was a palace here. As I said in the beginning, whole Ayodhya had, yes, this is the deity. This is Ladli Ram and Ladli Sita, lovable Ram and Sita, like kids they are. Actually, they were kids. When Sita Mata got married, she was just like 12 years old and Ram was like 20 plus, just very young. They got married. So these are the deities inside. Actually, this palace was Kaikeyi's palace, palace of gold, Kanaka Mahal, because Kaikeyi was the youngest and very dear to Dasharatha than the other two wives. Dasharatha had many wives, and the main three wives were Kausalya, Sumitra, and Kaikeyi. So Kaikeyi was the youngest, and Kaikeyi was a very beautiful, and she was the intelligent, and you can name it. She had so many qualities, so many qualities. She was a soldier. She can drive chariot. Generally when Ramayana people say Dasharatha fell in love with Kaikeyi, Dasharatha was very attracted to Kaikeyi, Dasharatha became a henpecked man, because of Kaikeyi. But actually many people don't know who Kaikeyi was. Anybody will fall in love with Kaikeyi because she was like a powerful Durga. She can fight. Once she went with Dasharatha Maharaja for a battle. Dasharatha Maharaja doesn't take the queens with him for battle. And he is not a simple king, That's why he got this name Dasharatha. He can drive 10 chariots. Very powerful king. Whenever Devas and Asuras fight, they come and ask Dasharatha to come and help them, to fight with Asuras. And regularly Dasharatha will go there to heaven and help Devas to fight with Asuras and get them victory and make them victorious, and Dasharatha will come back. It was like a time pass for him, hobby for him to fight. Very powerful king. And one day Mother Kaikeyi said to Dasharatha, my love, I would like to accompany you in a battle. And Dasharatha said, okay. He was not worried that something will happen to Kaikeyi, and he didn't worry about Kaikeyi's security, because Kaikeyi is such a powerful personality. And in the battle, imagine Dasharatha fell unconscious. He himself is like a mountain. And Dasharatha fell unconscious, and immediately Kaikeyi took over. She pulled the reins of horses and drove the chariot at a terrific speed from the battlefield, and she saved Maharaj Dasharatha. She's not a normal lady, very beautiful among the three, and she had all wonderful, admirable qualities, very intelligent. She will take part in Rajniti. She will advise Dasharatha, take this decision, that decision. Not a normal personality, amazing. So no wonder Maharaja Dasharatha fell in love with Kaikeyi. We cannot blame. So anything Dasharatha will consult with Kaikeyi. She was very powerful and she was like a powerful lady in the whole country. So out of love, Maharaja donated this palace, golden palace to Kaikeyi. So what you see now, this particular palace was built by a queen from Rajput. Prabhuji, can we go back to the old screen? So that queen from Rajput, she was a Rajput queen. She came and heard the whole Leela of Kaikeyi and Mother Sita, young queen. She got fascinated and she built this present palace. Before that, there was a golden palace here. Again, the great Aurangzeb destroyed. You know, then he destroyed this Ayodhya and they all tried to build that city called Firzapur next to Ayodhya, just 20 kilometers. So even today, if you go to Ayodhya, that Firzapur, whatever, Firozpur or Firzapur, that is like a bigger city than Ayodhya. They purposely shifted the city there. Anyway, so there was a golden palace here, and that was gifted by Dasharatha Maharaja to Mata Kaikeyi. Then you know what happened. That whole story of sending 14 years and all these things, you know. Then an amazing thing happened. Bharata came back. And when Bharata came back, he came to know that his mother had played this dirty trick and sent Dasharatha Ram to jungle along with Lakshmana and Sita. And Dasharatha Maharaja has left this world. The noble son of Dasharatha, Bharata's heart broke. His body was trembling. And citizens were not believing. Bharata went around and said, I am not party to this. Please believe me. Nobody believed. Then Kaikeyi so happily came and embraced Bharata and said, Bharata, you are the king now. Ram had gone to jungle. I have sent him now. You know, then actually Bharata threw Kaikeyi against the wall and pulled his sword and said, oh, demon lady, demoniac, you know, you are a ghost. You are this thing. He scolded with all bad things. And she said, I can chop you in 100 pieces and throw you in Sarayu. But I will not do this. Because if I do, Ram will show this as an excuse and he will never come back to Ayodhya. I want Ram back. You know, I want Ram more than you. You are just a slave in this kingdom anymore. And then Kaikeyi realized what a grievous mistake I have done. Then after 14 years, when Sita came back, Kaikeyi invited Sita to this palace. And when Sita came back, 14 years Kaikeyi took a secret tapasya, punishing herself. Kaikeyi did not eat even a morsel of food. She punished and tortured herself secretly, blaming herself. What a big sin I have done. What a grievous mistake I have done. Ram loved me more than my own son. Ram was so dear to me. How can I become so? How did I fall into the illusion momentarily? Next 14 years, she punished herself and, fasting and vratas and this and that. And she was living like a servant in her own palace. Then when Sita came, she caught Sita's hand and said, I beg you, you are young to me by age. Otherwise, I would have touched your feet. Sita, hey Janaki, please forgive me. I know my mistakes can never be forgiven, but you, please forgive me. And I don't have anything to offer. So I offer this palace and my own life to you. Please take it up. And Sita smilingly said, Kaikeyi Mata, I never thought bad about you in 14 years. Not even a second. Actually, you did a lot of good things to me. I could learn so many things more than that. In the first 13 years, I was enjoying the company of Ram, which I would have never got if I was in Ayodhya. So I was thanking you day by day, and this beautiful two wonderful personalities were thanking each other and begging forgiveness. And Sita very politely obliged and said, "No, you please, you don't have to do this." And Kaikeyi was begging and said, "At least for the satisfaction of my soul, please take it up." Then Sita Mata agreed to accept this palace as a gift from Mother Kaikeyi. And Sita worshipped mothers here in this palace. So it's a beautiful place where Mother Sita and Kaikeyi exchanged so many sweet talks. So definitely Mother Sita would have walked over this palace and ran around and things like that. So we bow down wholeheartedly and pray at the lotus feet of Mother Sita that we should also learn, devotion and service mood from Mother Sita. Then next we go to the great river Sarayu, the historical river which has taken place. The name River Sarayu is there in many, many Puranas. Amazing river Sarayu, very broad and all. So this river Sarayu, you know, like Prabhupada used to say, Sarju, very beautiful, Sarayu River. See, on the left side, you can see the remnants of old palaces. Now people are not allowed there because all those buildings are in dilapidated condition. It is not maintained. Very good, beautiful ghats. Ghat, that bathing ghat. So they have a separate place for women and a separate place for men. Beautiful ghats they had once upon a time, and now it is all in dilapidated condition. And what you see on the right side is the real form of Sarayu. So you can see so many bridges across this river. It's huge. It is very wide. Maybe I'm sure it must be easily like 200 meters wide or something. It's very wide, very broad river Sarayu. And so many leelas have taken place on the bank of Sarayu river. You can never explain what all the leelas have taken place in Sarayu river. Okay, when first time when Lord Ramachandra was going to kill Tadaka, you know that story, Vishwamitra came. So their main journey was on Sarayu River in boat. They were traveling from town to town. Actually, they touched Naimisharanya. They touched many, many places, Angadesha, all in the river. They had actually a boat journey. And in the boat journey, Ram was asking so many questions and Vishwamitra was answering. Actually, Vishwamitra was even talking about himself, how rude he was, how passionate he was. He was explaining the whole story. And every day, morning and evening, Ram and Lakshman, they used to do obeisances to this river, offer arati, because she's Ganga. Sarayu is a tributary, it's a branch from river Ganga. She's Ganga. So they were, paying namaskara, taking bath very respectfully. Simply by meditating on this river, Sarayu, Ganga, we become so purified, very purified we become. Not only this river Sarayu has amazing story. This is the place where Lord Ramachandra disappeared. The most painful pastime took place after Mother Sita left this planet. Lord Ram was ruling for 11,000 years in separation. you can understand how intensely and deeply Ram was praying. Ram was attached to Mother Sita. And 11,000 years Ram was ruling in Viraha, in great separation. Then one day, Yamaraj came to meet Lord Ramachandra. And they said this meeting is very serious. So immediately, 11,000 years, Ram was ruling, and Ram was in constant memory of Mother Sita, constantly remembering Mother Sita. And he had a Sita form made out of gold and placed next to him, and he ruled the kingdom. He made actually a golden Sita, and she was sitting on the Simhasana next to Lord Ram. And that's how Ram was ruling. And in those times, kings were marrying, 10,000 wives, 12,000 wives, hundreds of wives. Even sages had hundreds of wives in those Treta Yuga. Some sages had 1,000 wives, some sages had 100, even sages had so many wives. But Ram simply accepted Mother Sita and never thought about anybody else. Purushottama. So he was ruling, and citizens were so deeply in love with Ram. And Ramayana says there was never an incident that anybody in Ayodhya would go hungry. They were not going hungry. And another interesting thing is, nobody will become old in Ayodhya. They will be young, and once they touch 10,000 years age, they will die. And they were living not for too many years. They were living only for 10,000 years. That is all. Each person was living for 10,000 years, and Ram lived for 11,000 years. And, Vasishta and Vishwamitra, they lived for, I think, close to 60,000 years. They were very young, and they never become old. Even the entire 10,000 years, they were very young. And that's the old age was not there in Treta Yuga. No old age, no gray hair, they were always young. So 11,000 years Lord Ram ruled, and one day Yamaraj came and said, I want to talk to you something very important. And I don't want to be disturbed by anybody. Right? So then Lord Ramachandra told, okay, some devotees are asking questions. I will try to answer at the end. So, where did I stop? Yamaraj came, and Ram told Lakshmana, my dear Lakshman, we are going to talk something very serious, and don't allow anybody inside. And if you disobey me, I'm going to really punish you. And Lakshmana said, okay. And Lakshmana became the guard. And Ram was talking to Yamaraj, and Yamaraj was telling, oh great Lord, my dear Prabhu, I would humbly try to intimate you that Treta Yuga is going to get over and Dwapara is going to start. And Dwapara is Lord Krishna's time. So I would request you to wind your Leela fast. It is time for the yugas to change. So you have to complete your Leela. And Ram was saying to Yamaraj, yes, I know, I am getting prepared. I am ready for it. And this serious discussion was going on, and Durvasa Muni walked in. And when Durvasa came in, Bharat Lakshmana did not know what to do, because Durvasa is known for his temper. If you do anything which displeases him, he will curse the whole of Ayodhya, everybody, he will curse the whole kingdom. Then Lakshmana thought, if I disobey Ram, Ram will punish me. But if I disobey Durvasa, Durvasa will punish entire Ayodhya. So it is better to disobey Ram than disobeying Durvasa. So he allowed Durvasa instead. Lord Ramachandra very politely, very respectfully received Durvasa Muni, bathed his feet, gave him dakshina, spoke nicely to him. And when Durvasa went back, Yamaraj went back, Lord Ramachandra went and asked Lakshmana, why did you allow him? I told you not to allow anybody. You have disobeyed me. Just leave Ayodhya and never come back. I don't want to see your face, I don't want to see you again. This has never happened in the whole stretch of 11 years. Not a single day Ram had got separated from Lakshman. Even Ram got separated from Sita so many times. Right from the day of birth, because Ram took birth and Lakshmana took birth the next day itself. They were just one or few days different, not like years. Right from the day of birth, Lakshmana was never separated from Ram. When Ram walks, he becomes an umbrella and shoe. When Ram sits, he becomes a throne. When Ram lies down, he becomes the bed. When Ram goes to jungle, he becomes the tree. Lakshmana is the epitome of devotional seva. Very beautifully, Kambaramayanam it is written. If you know little Tamil, you will appreciate it. பொய்யோன் எனும் இடையாளோடும் மையோ மரகத பொய்யோ எனும் இடையாளோடும் இளையானோடும் மையோ மரகதமோ மணிமுகிலோ என்னோர் இவன் அழகு. The great poet is singing, Lakshmana is walking in the front like a sun with his head down. The beautiful Sita is walking in the middle, and the dark personality is walking behind. What a beauty. Is he a gem or is he crest among the jewels? That's how the sages glorify Lord Ram, Lord Lakshman. Then when Ram said, Lakshmana, I don't want to see you, never ever come in front of me. When Lord Ram said this to Lakshman, Lakshmana's heart broke into millions of pieces. Like a dead man, Lakshmana simply walked. He walked and walked and walked inside this glorious river, and simply he walked inside and disappeared. Ram was in the palace, and people came and said, Lakshmana just walked inside Sarayu and disappeared. Lakshmana, I might have told you to leave me, but you should never leave me. I will live without Sita, but how can I live without you? You are my life, you are my soul. Ram was screaming at the peak of his voice and literally crying and running towards Sarayu. When Lord Ram ran towards Sarayu, Bharata, at the time Shatrughna went to Madhuvan to kill a demon called a Lavanasura. Shatrughna was not there. So Bharata ran behind Lord Ram, screaming, Ram, Ram, Ram. Because they have not seen Ram like that. He was like beating on his head, crying and screaming, Lakshmana, my pran, my life. When Ram and Bharata was running, the citizens of Ayodhya, they were all in tears. What happened? Our Lord is running. What happened to him? The whole of Ayodhya, they ran behind Lord Ram. Even cattle, cows, calves, birds, peacocks, horses, they all ran into Ayodhya, and none of them came back. Then Shatrughna came back, and Lava Kusha were there under the custody of Vasishta and Vishwamitra, and Vasishta and Valmiki. And Shatrughna made Lava and Kusha the emperor of the northern part. Lava ruled, and southern kingdom Kusha ruled. And Shatrughna just became their caretaker and mentor. And all the time crying and chanting Ram's name, Shatrughna remained in Ayodhya. Hanuman, just with tears, freezed when he heard Lord Ram disappeared. And he also wanted to jump inside Sarayu, but the promise which he made to Ram already made a promise that, Hanuman, you should never leave Ayodhya and chant, always sit and chant, because you are non-different from me. Because of the promise Hanuman made, Hanuman could not move anywhere. He stayed back in Ayodhya, Hanuman Gaddi. And the whole of Ayodhya, the wonderful citizens, they loved Lord Ram more than their own life, more than their own family. They all followed Lord Ram and they all disappeared. You can understand the amount of devotion. They can never think back of a place where there is no Ram. If Ram is not there, then what is the use of Ayodhya? What is the use of my family, my wealth, my children? They simply thought it is useless. Ram is everything. The whole of Ayodhya walked inside Sarayu. That's why great sages, they come with tears and take dip in Sarayu. And Valmiki said, how cruel you are, Sarayu. You have taken my life. Now I am ready to give my body following that life, because he meant life means Ram. Valmiki said, even being guru of Lord Ram, Valmiki said, you have taken my life, Sarayu, but I am ready to give my body and you are not taking. This is a beautiful, glorious, holiest river. So we all pay obeisances to Sarayu and pray that when we also leave all this material entanglement, go back and attain the lotus feet of their lordships, and we can take dip. You can see it's a broad river. Devotees used to take, they take a swim, they take a dip, and they make themselves purified. Sarayu River ki jai.